Well, welcome back to Community Alchemy. This is Open Studio number 4, and you're in San Francisco tonight, I see. What you doing?
What am I doing? Well, first of all, I got over the disappointment that the hot tub is closed for the winter.
Ouch.
Yeah,
yes,
so
bad.
I had to adjust that pattern. But recently there was a fire, Walgreens at Fillmore and Haight in San Francisco, and this evening there is a community meeting to discuss ways to reimagine this intersection. And so that provided a natural opportunity to apply the vast design method to it, to this reimagining of the Haight and Fillmore intersection. And so I created started with the vision of people, pedestrians, seating in small tables, sort of a hub of neighborhood information, bike parking, plants, art, a well-lit and safe area. And from this vision I came with two sort of small phrases that leapt to me. A pause point. So right now, whether it's pedestrians, etc., are sort of just cruising through the intersection. There's nothing to really hold you there unless you're waiting for a bus. And so with this pause point creates an opportunity for community. And that's the vision I have for what to focus on when we look at what's possible here. Beginning the assessment sectors, the sun is pretty clear. There's a south side of Fillmore and a north side, so that's going to be very important for what's in the shade and what gets sun. The wind is also pretty clear, prevails from the west, heading down in the afternoon. That's for the most part the prevailing wind when there is wind. The buses are a huge sector that, in my mind, any solution that seeks to reroute them or change it or eliminate them, I think it's best to just take that as a fixed sector that's channeled through as it is, and look at how to work with that in a harmonious system around the whole intersection. Cabs this is a big cab hailing intersection. Private automobiles currently are going through the street, and then other things. The pedestrians, you can look at different set. There's commuters. The end line drop-off is right here. So in the morning, the evening, you just have a stream of people commuting back and forth that are going right through this intersection. Again, how do we get them to pause maybe and stop and look at the announcement board? Maybe go and get a cup of coffee and sit for a minute. And then you have the nightlife that sort of changes in the evening, shoppers' residence. So there's a whole different number of different types of sort of pedestrian profiles. And then some other things. There's garbage that comes through. Do we want to sink it into into garbage receptacles here? How do we deal with those sort of mundane things? Then there's some interested parties. The meeting is from 7 to 9 this evening. I'm interested to see exactly what it's all about. Who's running this show? Has this been did the fire just create the opportunity for thinking about it, or has there actually been a request from either the Lower Haight Merchants Association, etc., to look at this? So I'm going to go mostly to listen and sort of see what the scene is. I'm sure there are a lot of interested parties. It's a very major intersection, so everybody from the Bike Coalition to Walgreens themselves are going to be interested in what's possible here. But there's certainly a lot of improvement. The assessment of what things was, Walgreens is basically this monolithic sort of blank wall that sort of dominates this whole corner. How do we change that? There's a great opportunity for very small targeted changes that could really change it. If you just have an announcement board here, then that changes that wall. It's not something just to walk by, or for somebody standing here waiting for the bus to sit there with their earbuds in. It creates that opportunity for community. And I'll be curious to see if we have the existing infrastructure still to be assessed. We've got muni wires, fire hydrants, utility boxes, street lights, traffic lights. So it's going to be interesting to see what are the things that are really sort of in place and immovable, and other things like, for instance, this row of news racks, which I don't think is really adding much to the urban experience there. Or is it possible just to rip those out and instead replace those with plants, art, tables, and things that create community?
Thanks, Rob. Very good.
My pleasure.
I look forward to the feedback from the meeting tonight.
I am looking forward to it as well.
All right, buddy.
Okay, I'm here with Willi Paul, founder of Permaculture Exchange. Hello. Also dubbed PEX for this evening's Community Alchemy Open Studio.
Number 4.
Number 4. Tell me a little bit about how Permaculture Exchange has evolved and what you're working on tonight.
Well, I'm looking to add synchronous services to give members more opportunity to interrelate and to create more jobs and income, add value. So if you see this little bubble diagram, what we have now is more or less a jobs community. People signing up, different roles, looking for work, looking for project leaders. What I'd like to do is add an incubator for not only sort of inventions, but business development opportunities. So folks can come in and develop an idea with members. This won't take much reworking of the site, and it should bring in more interested people. So, given that sort of frame, the future is definitely training, teaching, and holding events using the permaculture ethics and values to promote a new culture of work and a new set of values for people in the transition. That remains strong. We have one idea tonight, which is to take PEX from an online group to a actual neighborhood facility, a building, and I call this space to place. So what would that mean, hypothetically? You might take this in stages. There might be opportunities initially just to talk to people in coffee houses, get your laptop, get going, meet folks. That might be like level 1, neighborhood interaction. Another level up might be to throw our hat into a green incubator situation with other startups and share resources like the admin folks doing the phones, the kitchen, the meeting rooms. There could be an opportunity just to rent a nice private space with or without admin support in San Francisco or Berkeley, other places, to get this into a more face-to-face context, which is what the neighborhood thing is really all about. And then finally, it could be that PDX or PEX shares a space in somebody else's building, shares a space with a program, and we might be able to lend some support to them and vice versa for the opportunity to be there. So, you know, down the road, where this place is, I think is important to consider. Where are the jobs? Where are the projects? Where are the resources? This should be central to those places and opportunities. So what would this place be about? Well, it could be a tool exchange. It could be training. It could be teaching a PDC, for instance. There's lots of events and conferences that could come, you know, through this neighborhood portal. There could be a garden associated with that, garden training. There could be kitchen and cooking classes related to the PDX as well. So what we're going to do is site it in a community that needs us and is a place where we can add value. So those permaculture values can take hold and we can teach them directly. This obviously, finally, could be an incubator, and I'll talk about the incubator online, but an incubator to foster inventions and business concepts and starts. So this is a sort of a promise, something that needs to be worked at, but I think there's an interesting synergy here between the online process and opportunity and a place opportunity.
Well, you showed us a concept for a place where you can have an evolution from idea to results. Show us what you've done with an analogous online procedure and process within Permaculture Exchange.
Well, I think there's a natural desire for people to create new tools and ideas, inventions, and new businesses. And so if the PDX can help folks with an incubator process, that would be a sort of a second way that the membership can grow and interact and help each other. So what I've done is just run through a possible schema of how the incubator could work online. And obviously it starts with an idea or a need that has to be fleshed out, and a description is possible, and some sort of value proposition, some sort of initial business plan, talking about inputs, outputs, and profit loss, whatever resources needed. I would see here at number 4, the person who owns the idea might want to do a video introduction for us, so we have a sort of face-to-face qualifier, and we can hear and see what this person wants to do. That could be an interesting part of the process of the incubator. Number 5 is, again, launch the RFP, which we already do now for the job network. Launch the RFP so the idea owner can look for help and for members to contact that person to get involved. That sort of two-way dynamic has already been established with the site, so we're just applying it to the incubator process. The project then, I see, then goes offline, and the team that's created works as they want to. There are other support tools on Permaculture Exchange, namely the forum is available for discussion of this process and of the resulting maybe a business startup idea, so we can talk about it now. There's also a showcase where the idea owner can present and get some notoriety and do a little marketing of the idea once it's finished. So the showcase is already there. It's a tab on the site. So at that point, he might launch another RFP to do a search for marketing help, to take the idea into more of a bricks and mortar context. So what we hope to do is incubate business development ideas and other inventions through the permaculture lens and help people find jobs.
An exciting result.
Thanks.
Thank you, Willie.